say fucking a bunch of people from Mexico we just let in like 700,000 immigrants and we put them all in Ann Arbor. If they were new and we put in an NFL team in Ann
Uh-huh.
Arbor, I'm saying they would have a chance to be the NFL teams. They could have a chance to be that NFL team's fan instead of being Michigan fans because they haven't grown up through and through just eating, breathing, and sleeping Michigan football.
A lot of fans are all over the country, you know?
Do you really think are we gonna like you think kids are growing up outside of Michigan still watching just as much football as a kid that grew up in Columbus and is watching Columbus football every day because it's literally their team that's right there? Like you go if I'm a Michigan fan and I graduated from Michigan and I moved to Washington and my kids grow up in Washington, 10 families do that. You're saying all of them, hey, we're all still going to stick and be Michigan fans, and our kids are only going to grow up watching Michigan, 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 like versus the kid who grows up, all the kids that are growing up in Ohio and Columbus right now, watching no matter what, because that is the team right here, and there is no other team. Like, where's like
So you're
you like
saying,
there's just generations that grow up only watching Ohio State sports.
So you're saying Ohio State's multi-generational, but Michigan's not multi-generational?
Locally, yes, not as generational because you guys literally have 700,000 more people.
What does that
Close to
matter?
800. Why does that
Why
not
does that
matter? That's
matter?
just
It's about the culture. It's not about the number. The culture makes it more generational. Not the number that live in Columbus.
it matters when that's the only thing that you see, eat, and breathe.
I I guess I just don't understand where you're coming from. I don't know what you're trying to argue for or prove or what, but I don't know. I, I don't think you'd have a professional team in either location because of how popular the collegiate teams are. I don't think it matters if Ann Arbor gained 600,000 U of M fans overnight. I don't think it matters if they gain 600,000 non-U of M fans. Like,
If you
they
gain
wouldn't do it.
600,000 non-U of M fans, then these are people that could be potentially swayed
And
to
there's
like
not
the NFL
900,000
team.
Ohio State fans there. And you
I'm
can
not.
go to Ann Arbor and
I
not
didn't.
be a Michigan fan. You wouldn't live in Ann Arbor and not be a Michigan fan.
If you didn't grow up watching, you have a chance to like either or.
Why would you be in Ann Arbor, Michigan and not be a Michigan fan?
Because your parents didn't grow up being Michigan fans. Like that's typically like this like you typically are a fan of what you're surrounded by. It's like
Sure.
so like if you were new, there's a difference that we would have new people that are first gen potentially Michigan fans. You're trying to say if the cities were the same developed and if we had the same population and it wasn't new, let's just say Ann Arbor flat out had the same population the entire time that Columbus has, then that would make sense. It's like, okay, 900,000 people live in Ann Arbor and have lived in Ann Arbor, and it's one of their fastest growing cities, and we just have Michigan. Yeah, that makes sense. The difference is we would have to have new people. New people don't have previous alliance established. You guys don't need new people. You already have enough people.
Yeah, but they.
Like,
I don't.
Like, how would we have strong ties to something that you're new to the city from? You're not like the thing that changes when you you grow up through it.
So you think that if somebody was put in somebody's family, non-related to Michigan, grew up in Ann Arbor, not alumni or anything, they wouldn't be a Michigan fan growing up in Ann Arbor school systems?
If there was a professional team put there, a new team put there, they have a chance to actually make them a fan of whatever that is. I don't think there's a chance of making someone a fan of a Columbus football team professional because everyone's already eating, sleeping, and breathing Ohio State Buckeyes that are the fans of that here because there's
I think
so
it's
many.
exactly the same in Ann Arbor.
And it's like it's like out of and diehard culture fans that just flat out love the sport. That is typically on your lower end percentage chance wise, stating any bell curve statistic that you can give. That out of fans, majority of them aren't as diehard as what people say. The man of the hour.
It's great to be a
Help!
Michigan
Trey doesn't make any
Wolverine.
sense. I don't.
What?
I don't.
Uh-oh, what's he
Help.
doing? What's he doing?
Help.
What's he doing?
So,
Help!
the debate here.
No, there's
is-
not.
The topic.
The
What's the
conversation.
topic?
Since we have
It's a
to be
weird
so fucking vocab
idea. I
Like,
don't even
my
know.
bad. Let's get the vocab right because if we don't get the vocab right and the semantics, then we can't say anything. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Live your dreams. Live your dreams.
So the conversation that we are having right now is that I was making. I recently found out that there was like a study done and that someone was trying to think of bringing. If there was trying to get a NFL team in Columbus, they realized they didn't have a chance of it because Ohio State just has a hold on everything in Columbus already. So you're not taking that from them.
Sure.
Darren said, well, the same would be happening in Ann Arbor. You couldn't put a team in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
I said, well, I don't know. I wanted to initially agree, but I was like, well, I don't know because we don't have like Ann Arbor's a smaller city, so like you guys have room for that. We don't. And so I looked at the statistics, and there's like Columbus has 900,000 people,
Okay.
and Ann Arbor has 122,000.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So he was saying the culture is the same. There's still plenty of diehard Michigan fans. There's the same amount of diehard Michigan fans. If you put a team in Michigan, if you tried to, it wouldn't work because
Like in Ann
Michigan
Arbor.
has an equal. Yeah, in Ann Arbor, Michigan has an Michigan. Yeah, University of Michigan has an equal hold on Ann Arbor that Ohio State does in Columbus, and I am arguing that I don't think so necessarily because out of the amount of people that live in Columbus, even if I would say that diehard fans make up about, let's say theoretically 10% of the fandom, we don't have the same amount because one of us is one of the fastest growing cities in the country and a massive city, and one of us doesn't have that. And if you were to equal that out and say that both have like the same population,
Okay.
if you say that we have to have new people move, like let's say fucking a bunch of people from Mexico we just let in like 700,000 immigrants.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
All in Ann Arbor. If they were new and we put in an NFL team in Ann Arbor, I'm saying they would have a chance to be the NFL teams. They could have a chance to be that NFL team's fan instead of being Michigan fans because they haven't grown up through and through, just eating, breathing, and sleeping Michigan football. Whereas Ohio State doesn't have to have new people. They already have kids that are growing up only watching that football and only being surrounded by that culture. So that is where this whole thing is.
Well, what is it? What does it have to do with having a new team?
I don't.
Right, because the argument Darren is making is if you put a team in Ann Arbor, it'd be the same problem, which he's talking about right now. I guess
Yeah.
I guess I'm losing the logic on we have to equate Ann Arbor to Columbus's population like yesterday. Is where I'm losing you, I guess.
So I agree with the right now if you try to, but I'm saying no one is going to try to put an NFL team in a city that has 100,000 people,
Right.
and teams have tried to put professional football teams in Columbus, and it doesn't seem to work. And the reason it doesn't work is because Ohio State has the grip on it like it does. So like one of us doesn't like no one's trying to, and the other one people are trying to, and
Aaron,
the
there you
reason
go.
they're trying to is purely based off of population. If Columbus only had 123,000 people in it and it was a smaller city, I don't think you would see people even trying to put an NFL team in Columbus
Yeah. No, that's fair.
because there's
That's
no
fair.
money
No.
to make off of only 123,000 people.